Are you ready to learn how to exactly build your systems for your business with a virtual assistant while we're on a train in Japan? So in this video, I've been kind of sitting here and I've been like, I should record a video for you guys with this beautiful view. And I've got my mini iPad here so I can just walk you guys through how to do it. Now, in the last 6 years, I've been teaching a lot of business owners how to be able to work with their virtual assistants in getting systems created, and I'm going to break it down to you guys how to do exactly that. So in the last video, I walked you guys through how to know what to delegate and what not to delegate, what to automate and what to delete in your business. And basically this is what we walked through last time. Now this time, I'm going to walk you guys through how to build those systems. Now the first thing that you want to keep in mind is to walk through your business as if you had no idea what was happening, as if you were walking someone else through it. So I want you guys to go into a notebook or your iPad like mine and start walking through your customer journey. So I'm going to write that down. So when it comes to writing down your customer journey, you're going to write through marketing. Like, how do you actually get people through? Like, do you have social media channels like my videos? Do you have like LinkedIn content, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're getting these people from? You want to write down those marketing channels. And then what's the next step? So let's say someone saw a video, an ad, a post from you. Where do they go? Do they get a freebie? Do they book a call? Like, if you want to be able to dive into this more, you can book a call with me in the link below. You want to capture what those steps are. And then afterwards, like, what does the call look like? What does that process look like for your customers? So again, you're going at this from the point of view of someone who has no idea what your business are, what it is that you do, and you're just walking them through that step-by-step process. After the call, how do you then close? Do you send them an invoice? Do you send a proposal? And then afterwards, how do you actually deliver? Like, how do you deliver your product or your service? What does that look like day to day, week to week, month to month? Again, think of it as you're leading someone through what your processes look like, and then how do you maintain? So I'm writing a little bit through the whole like train shaking a little bit, but that's essentially the first couple of steps that you want to be able to do to get yourself started. You want to think through what your customer journey is to start. That way it's a little bit easier for you to be able to explain this to someone else, especially your virtual assistant. Now, this is what you want to do yourself so you can explore what this looks like. And then what you're going to do, the next step, is then start walking this through with your assistant. But you can also go back to this chart that we have right here, where you're going to start assessing which of these steps only you can do, which of these steps you need to delegate, which of the steps you need to automate, and which of the steps you need to delete/document. So again, kind of reviewing this with you guys, what are the tasks that you are really good at doing that make you money in the business? What are the tasks that you might not be the best at, you don't really love doing, but then they still need to be done to make money in the business? These are things to delegate. The things that you might love to do, but then they actually don't bring in a lot of things in your business, you want to automate, because these are probably things that can be repeated over and over again. And finally, the delete is anything that doesn't really make you money or something that you love or has to be done in the business. You probably want to delete, but you want to make sure to document that. So you're essentially going through this process of creating your customer journey, so then you can run it through again through these filters, so you can find out what are the things that, again, only you can do, you need to delegate, you need to automate or delete within your business. So once you've done those steps, you've been able to map out the entire journey of your customer or your clients, you've been able to do this assessment. The next step is actually honestly building the SOP database or the standard operating procedure database for you and your assistant. And the point of this is for you guys to know what are the things that need to be documented within the business. Now you can make this super simple and just put this into a Google Sheet. That way you guys have a clear path. So basically you have multiple columns, right? I'm gonna also draw this out. And what would that be is basically you want to make sure that you have the part of the business or the division, basically which division in the business is this. And then you want to have the name of the document that you are creating, the process essentially. And then you want to go ahead and create the who, like who is in charge of this, like who's supposed to be getting this done, whether that's a position in your business, whether it's a client success manager or the programmer or marketing team, who basically that's the who. Like who is supposed to be the specific person who's in charge of this. And then you also want to put in date. Now, date could be date created or the date that you last edited this. And the reason why you want to do that is you want to make sure that you are always keeping your systems up to date. So that's the next step, is to create this sheet, right? So go ahead and write down, based off of this, the customer journey, what are the different processes that need to get done and when, and again, who is supposed to be in charge of that. Once you have this crucial step, then you can start going into plotting out, what does your SOP template look like? Like, what do you want these documents to look like as you start creating all of them? So then for you and your virtual assistant, they now have a clear path of what are the things they need to actually start writing down. And then you create the template. You can literally just use any SOP template as long as you're getting it used. The main things I always keep in mind is you need to have an introduction. The introduction of the SOP is basically just like, what is this for? Like, why does this exist? And then it's the what. It's the what are the important things to keep in mind. So for example, if it is a onboarding a client, you make sure that you respond within 24 hours. Is making sure that you document things as they happen, that you record meetings. So this is the what. And then the how. The how is a simple step-by-step, step 1, step 2, step 3. If you can provide screenshots, the better, so it makes it easier for other people to actually know what the heck they're doing at the different time in the platform. And then the final one is just video. So video is making sure that you have some sort of video walkthrough for that person who's doing this task. That way it's going to be so much easier for them to follow just the process they've already gone ahead and set up. Now, this can be the super simple template that you have, that then you can make it more complicated later on, or they can add more things depending on the kind of business that you have. But this is basically step 3 and 4, is creating the database of what you need to be documented, and then actually now starting to create the template for the documentation. Now, the next steps, you can do as little or as much as you want, which is basically now teaching and recording yourself doing these tasks that then your assistant can put into the Google Doc template. So what this could easily look like is you have the Zoom recording, Loom, Vidyard, whatever it is that you're using, and recording yourself doing all of these steps and then giving it to your assistant to turn into a document. This is the key thing that a lot of people don't think about, is that that's how you have your assistant build systems, is because you have this person who has never done this task before, or may have done it once or twice but not fully, and they can start breaking things down, versus for you, you've done this task like 5-10 times. It's so automatic. There's going to be things that you'll skip, that you'll forget, you'll just not do, just because you've been doing it forever. So you want to give it to your assistant, is record yourself doing the task and then delegate to them to be able for them to kind of, again, break it down easier or simpler for someone who's never done it before. Next, of course, is you want to make sure that you review all of this documentation. You can do probably the first 2, like 3 SOPs and give your assistant feedback if they're doing well or if they're not doing well, and then being able to actually then have them just continue creating and going through the rest of the process. Afterwards, there is the testing of the documentation. You can either hire an intern or someone else in the business to look at these documentation to make sure that it's easy to understand, that they can follow, and then it's then just updating and making sure these systems are actually working moving forward. Now, anytime that there's going to be a change in the tool, change in process, if there was a shortcut to be found, you have to make sure that these SOPs are documented. And that's also why it's important to list the last edited date on the database, so that you can see when it was last touched and when it needs to be updated. So as you go through the rest of these processes, the key thing that I almost forgot to say is to make sure that as your assistant is making all of that process, is as they're creating it in a Google Doc or wherever it is, you are linking the Google Doc into the sheet, so that it's easy for anyone else to be able to find this documentation and not have to use the search bar on Google Drive to be able to find it. Creating systems with your virtual assistant doesn't have to be this big, daunting, scary thing. You can just make it super simple for the both of you to just get started. And this is a big part of what we do in 2XU for a lot of our clients, is building up a lot of their systems. So of course, if you want to be able to get started yourself, make sure to click the link below to book a call with me. And if you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully this wasn't too chaotic going through Japan and recording this video, super quick video for you guys, then make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of the videos every Thursday on how to grow your business with AI. And if you have a virtual assistant and they want to study and learn more, check out my first channel here and check out the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing and fantastic day. And remember that small steps matters. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.